Tell us, John, for your film, The Sublet, tell us a little bit about where the actual story came from.
The story originated from, the story originated with my co-writer, Allison, when she had moved to LA and she was subletting lots of different apartments, and she also had the feeling that people were watching her. Mm-hmm. So she and I had the idea to turn that into a movie, and eventually Paranormal Idea came about, and then we played with that for a bit, and eventually it became more of a psychological thing. Right. And in the end, it's kind of fun to play with both. Right. So.
This is another feature from Black Fawn again. They had Bite, and it was a body horror film, and then they had The Drownsman, and it was more like a monster film. But this time around, it's more of like a psychological horror. So tell us, or comment a little bit about that, how that makes it a lot more different for you guys.
I don't know. I mean, like we actually shot this before Bite, and if you watch Bite and The Sublet back to back, you'll notice that we have the same set. Ish. We've moved it around and it changes, but no. I mean, I came in. Chad and Cody worked together quite a bit with Chris, and I came in. I grabbed a beer with Cody, and introduced myself and sort of pitched the movie. And within a week, I think Chad and Cody had it in the hands of Breakthrough, and they had read it, and we were greenlit a month later and shooting 2 months later. So it's one of the most bizarre experiences, because usually you give a script to a producer and wait 6-7 months of harassing them for them to finally read 20 pages and tell you it sucks. So it was a complete opposite situation on this one, and it was a lot of it was a matter of me meeting them, right place, right time. Mm-hmm. My script, one location, few characters. It fit the budgets that they had and the parameters of what they wanted to do and what they could do. And, it was right after they had signed that deal with Breakthrough. So had I met with them a couple months earlier, probably who knows what would have happened,
Nice.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about you casting, of course, Tiana for the film, and she does a wonderful job in the whole film. But tell us why you selected her for the actual part.
I don't know. There's a lot of reasons. I did have a top 3 actresses. It made it really tough to pick at the end. But I mean, the first time I saw Tiana come in, and there was something about her audition that just seemed to work. And in my I try not to have a preconceived notion of character, mm-hmm. but in my mind, Joanna, the lead character, was always brunette. And so when Tiana came in, that started to change. Right. And there was just something about the performance in her audition that changed my mind, and I kind of knew after she'd done the second take that she was the one I wanted. Right. We still auditioned people for like a day. And then Rachel, who plays Alex, I knew I wanted the two of them to play opposite each other in terms of blonde or brunette. And when she came in, because a lot of blondes were coming in auditioning for that, when she came in, she did something totally different. And then I had her read it in French, I surprised her with that, which is fun if you're an actor who goes in for an audition, have to do it in a different language. But, and then Tiana really wanted the role, and I really wanted her, and we just kind of fought for each other until Breakthrough and Black Fawn said, yep, we'll do it. Nice. Yeah. Tell
us maybe perhaps like one of the challenges you had in terms of putting this film together.
Money. It's always money. I mean, it's always the realistic of what you can accomplish within a certain amount of days and a certain amount of hours with a certain amount of limited resources. Luckily, we shot in Guelph, where it's Chad's hometown, and he brings on, with Black Fawn comes Vince, our production designer, Vince is an artist in his own right, but he also is a carpenter and a stonemason and all these other things. And so he's able to pull in resources and pull in things that you just can't. Like, we went to pawn shops, and the guys know Vince, and it's like, sure, take anything you want for a month, and if you break it, you buy it. Otherwise, bring it back. Right. And it's, and it's great. And he went out to construction sites, and the floor in the film is literally just throwaway 2x6s, and he stained them and made them look like a floor. So it's a lot of Vince being really crafty with nothing. Right. I mean, I hit him up with, he built a phone booth in like 2 hours from like 3 a.m. He had started building it, and we showed up to shoot at 5 a.m. and he had a phone booth somehow, and it may still be there for all I know, but he, yeah. So I mean, that's always the challenge is finances and resources and trying to make what you had in your head happen and then realizing that you can't afford to make that happen exactly how you wanted it to, and then trying to find the best way to make it happen in a way that you can afford, in a way you can be proud of, in a way you can sell the story.
Right.
So that, and because we were lucky, we had a great crew, which is really fortunate at this level, because at this budget level, you're always working with rookie crew and younger people, but these people were all, they knew their jobs, and we had a great first AC with Tyler, and he pulled focus on some very difficult, wide open darkness handheld shots that would make most people cry. So, and he cried a little bit, but that was my fault. But we made it happen, and he did a good job. So,
tell us a little bit about how it feels to be actually here at Blood in the Snow.
it's cool to be playing a festival in our hometown. After, I think we opened a year ago in Whistler, and I went out to Whistler, and I love Whistler, and I used to live in Vancouver, so I'm familiar with Whistler, and I'd had some stuff there before, so that was sort of like home. But I moved here 10 years ago, and Toronto is and I'm from Ontario, so Toronto is the hometown. So to have it come back to Toronto a year later is kind of really interesting, in opposite to the way that so many times you open a film in your hometown and then take it out to the world, and the Sublet is the complete opposite. It's gone around the world, and now it's come home. And, and it's great to have a hometown screening prior to, I think our DVD release will be in a few months, or at some point early in 2017, I'm not sure. So yeah, it's great, and it's great to be a part of it. Like, Blood in the Snow is a nice little small festival, and you go for lunch and you meet all your other filmmakers, and you get to know each other and talk about the same problems, and you realize that no one's really unique, and we're all struggling the same fight and the same battle and trying to make it happen. So it's good that way. Whereas, you go to TIFF, and I've been at parties at TIFF and talked to producers, and I don't even know what their language they're speaking, because it's like their issues are not anything I've ever come in contact with. So it's nice to meet with indie filmmakers and bond over that and maybe help each other out going forward.
Thank you so much for your time.